Welcome to the August 19, 2019 meeting of the Gaston County Board of Education. I'm Britt Moore, Crowers Mountain Township, and chairman of the board. And to my left is Kevin Collier, vice chairman, Riverbend Township. At this time, I'd like to ask the other board members to introduce themselves.
Lee Dedman, Gastonia Township.
Justin Davis, South Point Township.
Terry Usry, Cherville Township.
Steve Hall, Dallas Township.
Doug Guthrie, Gastonia Township.
Jeff Ramsey, at-large member.
Dot Cherry, at-large member.
On behalf of the board, I would like to welcome everyone to our meeting tonight. And I hope that students, teachers, and parents are getting excited about returning to school. Our teachers came back today, and our students will return 1 week from today. We have had a very productive summer, and we will hear more about that shortly. But our first order of business is to have our prayer and pledge of allegiance. I would like to ask Dr. Booker to lead us in invocation and pledge.
Thank you. Oh, Father God, we just praise you for all that you have given and blessed us with, and we thank you for all that has gone on as we prepared for this school year. And we thank you for all that those who return to work today and all that you have empowered them to do and deliver. We ask that you be with us tonight and guide us and allow us to do your will in the work of this board as they serve this community. We just thank you for all that you are.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our next order of business is to adopt the agenda. You have a proposed agenda before you. Please take a minute and look it over.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Got a first and a second. Any questions? All in favor? And it's unanimous. Our next order of business is to hear good news happening in our schools. Superintendent Booker, bring some good news.
Appreciate that. Chairman, members of the board, tonight we have two good news items to share with you, followed by a special presentation. I would ask Lauren Dixon from Gaston Early College to come forward. Lauren teaches science at Gaston Early College, and she is one of only 6 recipients of the Cato Excellence in Teaching Award, which is presented by the Arts and Science Council of Charlotte. These annual awards recognize teachers who have distinguished themselves in teaching art, science, or history, and who have demonstrated creative infusion of the arts, science, or history into the core academic curriculum. Ms. Dixon teaches biology, physical science, and physics, and you all know we have celebrated the scores out of the early college many times. And she was recognized as one of the 2 winners in our region in the science category. Remember, when we talk about our region, you're talking about 4 of the 10 largest districts in the state combined with several other districts, including 2 districts in South Carolina. So receiving this award is a prestigious honor. You see, she's more nervous here with us than she is in front of those kids. But we wanted to take time to congratulate you and let you know how much we appreciate all that you do on behalf of Gaston County and our students. Mr. Davis.
We also wanted to present you with this. We have to have some hardware taken from us. So this is a certificate of recognition presented to you because of the Cato Excellence in Teaching Award. Thank you for all you do for our students. We sincerely appreciate it, and it is an honor. I know for you to win this award, but it's an honor to have you in our school system. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. Devin?
May I say one thing, Laura? I just want you to know that I exercise with your mother 3 days a week. She thinks that you are wonderful and talks about you all the time.
You're wonderful too.
You have a great mom and daddy.
I had a great third grade teacher too. Where it started.
Sean, you ready to
Am I doing this now?
Sure.
Mark Dixon, or can you say that? Is this my?
They're gonna be fast.
It's a lot. It's a lot. He said it.
Thank you.
Yeah, balance.
Thanks, love. Thank you. We appreciate you all. Good job, Mr.
Members of the board, a group that does a lot of work and is typically behind the scenes, we're going to take a moment to recognize tonight, and that's our communications department. They have earned 2 national awards for excellence in school communications and public relations. Last month, they received Golden Achievement Awards from the National School Public Relations Association for the Big 50 Parade and for the For Your Information School Bonds 2018 marketing campaign. As you know, both of these programs were successful and brought a lot of attention and honor to our district, and we think they were worthy of the national award. And so what you need to know when you talk about these awards, Gaston County is one of only 4 districts out of 115, one of 4, to receive a Golden Achievement Award this year in North Carolina. These awards were in addition to the 13 awards that they received for excellence in marketing, special events, writing, video production, and publications. We're proud of our communications department, and it's nice to have Todd on the other side of a picture for once. Ms. Guthrie? Alice and Valerie, Sean, who's going to take the picture? Oh, okay. Charlotte, Tom, can you come out from in back?
The man behind it.
Did he hear you?
So you're not giving them to me?
Well, I know.
No.
I'll give you later.
Okay. This is indeed an honor. We stand here at least once a month, and we receive whatever awards or certificates from Todd to present to our folk receiving those awards or certificates. But this evening, I am honored, highly honored, to be holding in my hand a big 50th anniversary coin. But before I present the plaques to you, I want to tell you what a superintendent from the Montgomery County School District said. Dr. Jerry Wiest said, "There are many ingredients for success in a school district, but one stands out above the rest: great communication skills, because you get it right." And this evening, I am honored. Please join me in they are very nice about it. After the parade, I was so excited. I saw Todd and Valerie. I didn't know were actually on the radio talking about the parade, I rudely interrupted them. Oh, it was a wonderful parade! And they just kept right on, and they said, we may have to do that again. But they were very generous and respectful of that. And I am honored to have the privilege to represent the board this evening as we present to you the National School Public Relations Association Golden Achievement Award in recognition of exemplary public relations to Gaston County Schools for Gaston County Schools Big 50 Parade. And I am honored as well to present in recognition on behalf of the board and superintendent this in recognition of the exemplary public relations to Gaston County Schools for your information School Bonds 2018 marketing campaign. And there's no other voice like Todd when you answer the phone when the snow is falling. So we are honored. We're honored to present you with these awards this evening.
We'll share right there.
Right here. All right. And once again, let's congratulate them because they did
Yes, Tom.
Tom.
I'll come back there and drive.
He wants Joy's stuff. He look professional.
Should I be in front?
You're in front of
Now
us.
you want to squeeze in.
Ready?
How's that, Sean?
Hey, will you greet the board? All right.
Great job.
Great job. Thanks, Valerie.
Great work. Congratulations on great work. Great work. I'm always great work. Great place.
Good job,
Oh, really? I'm going to take my months though.
So, members of the board, I think it's appropriate that we did that recognition tonight. And as Ms. Guthrie pointed out, she showed each of you have one of the medals. You, back in May, when we recognized all our supporters of the Big 50 Parade, they each received one of these. And so this is your medal in recognition of that as we prepare to move forward to year 51 that starts in 1 week. So we just wanted to let you have this memento for you. And Mr. Chairman, that completes the good news for tonight.
Thank you, Dr. Booker. The next item on the agenda allows an opportunity for public expression, and tonight we do have individuals who have asked to be heard. This is a time when the board will hear comments from members of the public about public concern related to the school system. Before we begin, let me outline our procedure. Citizens wishing to make comment and who have completed a request to speak form will be recognized by the chair and then requested to step to the microphone for their comments. Citizens will then state their name and address for the record. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. The members of the board do not comment on public expression during public expression. Public expression does not allow for comments on confidential or personnel matters. The chair shall rule on all points of order during public expression. And we have Mr. Jim Gallagher.
Photos are right there in that folder.
Okay.
Yeah. Before I start, I just want to say you have some great principals within your school district, and I just want to say one of them is Christy Granto over at Sherwood. This Saturday, our community watch got together, and we just, cleaned up around the yard and stuff like that, and didn't think anything of it. 9:30 this morning, she's sending out congratulations to everybody that was there, and I just want to say she's on the ball. That's awesome. Really. Yeah, well, you're very welcome, Todd. Next up, a few weeks ago, Teresa McFarland sent me an article about a school in Ohio that allowed their students the opportunity to donate their unused school lunches to other students that were in need instead of throwing the unwanted food out in the trash. They actually had a tray set up in the cafeteria where they could just put it out there. I wanted to see if we could pursue something similar for our schools here in Gaston County. I contacted school board member Dot Cherry. She was extremely helpful and set up a meeting with Miss Teresa McFarland and I, and the director of food services, Miss Angela, I hope I said this right, Calamia. Okay. She told me it sounds like calamari. So, at the kitchen facility in Lowell. I didn't even know this place even existed. We sat down with the director of Calamia's office, and we were able to discuss the potential for food donations and with her directly, and discovered that she was already familiar with the practice. She explained that she was happy to support a similar process in our schools, so long as they're non-perishable food items that are used. And the final decision really rests with the participating principals of that school, which, I'm fine with. It's their prerogative. We went over the details of food and drinks that also could be provided but there's storage concerns with them because you got to keep them cold, and they have to take temperatures and all that, and it all comes down to the county health guidelines. At the end of our meeting, Director Calamia gave us a tour of the facility and explained how she provided lunches and breakfasts. Now, I'm trying to remember if I'm right on this, and you guys please correct me, to 52 schools in Gaston County. Is it 52 or 53? 54. 54 physical locations, and she does that on a daily basis. She does this all on a budget of $3.39 per student, and that's truly remarkable. Me being in banking, because she was telling, that's the gas, that's the trucks, that's the maintenance, that's the food, that's everything, and that's remarkable. That's fantastic. Way to go with our city, our tax dollars. She also spoke of the types of foods that the kids received and changes they make throughout the year. For example, last year, they had a salad with ham on top of it, and it was not a huge success. So this year, she's going to substitute the ham for grilled chicken. I admire someone that takes action to implement changes when they can see that changes need to be made. She's paying attention to our students and providing them food that is not only nutritious, but what they actually want to eat. I was able to see firsthand how things were made and got to meet the individuals packing the lunches for our summer programs going on. Matter of fact, let me see if I got a picture of them. They are right here. Can I bring that up? There's a few pictures there, but that's one of them. Let's see. There they are. Let's see. I also learned that an experimental breakfast program was instituted last year at Hunter Huss. It was to-go breakfasts. Items were made available to students upon arrival after the first period. When students came into the school, it was also available. This program was a success and now will be rolled out to other high schools as well. The tour ended by us being both being enjoyable and enlightening. Just got a little bit I got to read, I know. Director Calamia was very capable and a great hire for the director of Gaston County School for
Mr.
Food
Gallagher?
Services. Yes.
If it pleases the board, is it okay if he finishes?
Just got just a little
Go-
bit.
all
I
right.
really
Yes,
just
sir.
want
Yes, sir.
to say for her.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
You are lucky to have stolen her away from Mecklenburg schools. She is friendly, knowledgeable, and open to suggestions and positive changes. I want to thank Doc Cherry, Superintendent Jeff Booker, Director Calamia, and the entire school board for giving us the opportunity to speak about and hopefully spur implementation of the food donation program in our schools. You are truly providing a great service to all our Gaston County students, and I just want to say thank you all very much. I appreciate it. We got some other pictures up here if you want to see them. Let me see if they go like this. Can't. No, it's not touchscreen, is it? There we go. This is the facility of the kitchen. So I just want to say thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gallagher, for your comments and your continued concern for Gaston County Schools. Although the board does not typically respond during public comment, we do want to hear from the public. Thank you for your comments. Our next item on the agenda is the approval or correction of minutes from our past meetings. Tonight, we're asking for the approval in the minutes from the June 13, 2019, selecting Gaston College Board of Trustees appointment, June 13, 2019, our regular meeting, on June 27th, 2019, our special meeting. I need a motion. Mrs. Cherry, second. Mr. Ramsey, any comment, discussions? All in favor? And it's unanimous. Our next item on the agenda is our classroom moment. At each of our meetings during the school year, we like to permit time on the agenda to highlight some good work going on in our classrooms. So, Dr. Booker, what could you possibly have for us during the summer?
Well, as you all know, we run a number of summer programs to provide enrichment to our students during the break. And so Carrie Minnick is going to allow some of them to speak to the opportunities that they have. Ms. Minnick?
Thank you. I am excited to be here tonight to tell you about some of the optional summer programs that we had in place for our students this summer. The first one that I would like to talk a little bit about is the Gaining My Independence program that many of you heard about last year as well. And we just wanted to take a moment to remind you that this camp actually serves students across 4 different counties, and we're really excited to have that partnership with Lincoln, Charlotte, Mecklenburg, and Cleveland. And this year was led by David Passetti, who is our lead visually impaired teacher in Gaston County Schools, and Yvonne Franz, who is a teacher for the visually impaired in Cleveland County Schools. This year, the students spent time learning different things through pirate-themed activities, and some of the things that they learned were practicing their cane skills by walking the plank, meeting a live parrot, and that helped them connect science and self-care, and then independently making snacks in the galley, and then writing down their reflections in their captain's log every day. So they really had some nice, unique experiences. And here are some pictures from them. So we see them in the bigger picture as they're visiting the Shield Museum and getting to be around their pirate ship replica that was there. We have a student making her snack up in the galley. And then that bottom picture is before they had discussions about pirate ships, they wanted that to be meaningful. So they built sponge ships during a science lesson on buoyancy. I never can say that word right. And then afterwards, Mr. Passetti wrote the outline of a ship for them in North Gaston's Cafeteria, which was a really nice opportunity for them to get a feel for just how big a pirate ship could be. So we had 11 students this year and 2 high school volunteers. And tonight we have Oswaldo Trejo with us to talk about his experience as a volunteer with the program.
So, you just want me to explain what exactly it is?
Just tell them what you enjoyed about the program and how it helped you. Yes.
Well, we did a lot of things in the program. It lasted 2 weeks, I reckon it was, and one of the things I really liked was I got to bring along a percussion instrument, and show them what different things of drum sets are, because it's not all just drums. You know, there's a big difference, and you know, I got to explain a little bit of that to them, and I got to play along with one of the leaders, Mr. Dell. He played on the piano. I played a little bit on the percussion instrument, and the kids really enjoyed it. I enjoyed that. It was fun. Yeah, I messed up, but we won't talk about that. And I also taught them how to make cake in a cup. It's a simple process that even I can't mess up, so they allowed me to do it, and we did. We were able to make all kinds of different flavors, and they just didn't have any size differences because I wanted an extra large, and that didn't happen. But yeah, it all worked out. I really had a great time. I was real iffy about coming to it because, you know, my summer. But I really did enjoy my time there, and I'm looking forward to going back again next year, hopefully. So that's it.
Thank you.
Yep.
So it was really nice to have the two older students that are visually impaired as well to be there as role models for those younger students and for them to have the opportunity to learn from them. So the next camp I'd like to talk about are our 2 summer Imaginarium camps that we held. The first one was an elementary camp for our students in 4th and 5th grade. We ran that the week of June 17th through the 20th at Cramerton Middle School. And we had about 45 students there that explored lots of different topics, from robotics to basketball, group games. They were able to explore their artistic side by participating in painting and decoupage classes. And then they also had classes in dance and engineering. So they were able to really tap into a lot of their interests. And then our middle school camp was held June 24th through the 27th, and we had 85 participants in that camp. So we were really excited about the growth we saw there. Lots of returning students, and they did things such as robotics, art, sports, technology, and then this year they had a cooking class, which was a request from a lot of last year's participants, so they were able to add that in. And I did want to take a moment to recognize John Stone, who organized that program. Where's John? Oh, there's John. And worked really hard with the following teachers: Patrick Bowen, Carrie Curtis, Taylor Irwin, Andrew Lockridge, Kenneth Loudon, Aristella Torres, Michelle Hersey, Rebecca Perkins, Sean Reimer, Debbie Springsteen, and Emily Sutton. So we had some are elementary, some are middle, some are high school teachers. And so we really kind of spanned a great range of talents to come in and help our students. And now I wanted to recognize Aria Belton. She is a student at Hawksnest Elementary that attended, and her principal, Miss Payne, is so upset she could not be here. She is in the middle of open house, but has promised to go back and watch the video because she is really proud of Aria and can't wait to hear her. So I'm going to turn it over to Aria.
This camp was an amazing camp. I especially liked Picasso, because you get to use Mod Podge and build bird houses and things that you don't normally get to do at home. There's Move and Groove, get to dance to just dance videos. There's Ultimate Frisbee. I got to learn 2 more Frisbee throws. So I'm really looking forward to doing this again.
Okay, and then we also have Jamila Lewis, who is a student at Stanley Middle School, and her principal, Miss Huffstetler, is here to support her tonight, and we appreciate her being here. Jamila?
Well, at the camp that I went to, it was really fun because we get to work on teamwork and all the things such as dodgeball, and we got to do 3-man weaves in basketball. It taught me how to do more basketball skills, and also it taught me teamwork, because you can't do a 3-man weave with one person. And I also got to do a lot of things, make new friends, and that's about it. So, thank you.
Right, and I want to share some photos with you of that camp. So we have some of our elementary students up there playing Mancala, and we have some doing the robotics class, and then of course we have a student on the far right tapping into her artistic abilities up there. So our next camp that we wanted to share with you was Innovation Station. This summer camp took place at Kaiser Elementary the week of June 24th. It was open to rising third graders that would be coming from Springfield, as well as students entering grades 4 through 6. She had over 40 students attend either the morning sessions or the afternoon sessions for this program, and they created Greentown and explored the ecosystem and how to clean up an oil spill. And so you can see in these pictures there, the bottom picture is students learning how to clean up that oil spill. On the top right, they were doing an ecosystem activity where they were assigned to be the animal or a sun or whatever, and they had to throw the ball of string to somebody that gave them energy or food and helped them learn about the food chain. And then that top left picture, they are testing pH in water and soil, so they were really able to use a lot of different techniques and activities to learn about that. And Miss Bruzy is here to represent her teachers that could not be here tonight, but we are thankful to Tanya McClure and Tracy McLean for leading that program at Kaiser Elementary for us. And the last program that I wanted to share with you was our college prep program. We ran this the week of June 17th through the 20th, and we're very thankful to Gaston Early College for allowing us to use their site this year. We had 65 dedicated rising sophomores through seniors who attended these classes, taught by 8 of our Gaston County Schools teachers who shared tips and practices with the students to prepare them for the verbal and math sections of the ACT and the SAT. And additionally, these students received model instruction in writing and grammar so they could leave the program with a finished college essay, which I think was one of the most favorite outcomes that they had. So here you can just see lots of different pictures of the students, sometimes working independently or in that group. And I did want to recognize Crystal Strader, Victoria Rimmer, Caitlin Howell, Valerie Schuler, Bobby Cronlin, Max Griffin, Tim Jones, and Samantha Young for being the teachers to help these students, and again, John Stone for being the coordinator from our department to help make it all happen. So, any questions for us tonight about any of the camps?
Ms. Guthrie?
I do not have a question, but I have several comments that I would like to make. And before I do that, I would like for the young man to come back too. I want you, 3 students, to know that my heart has been touched in knowing that you had the opportunity to have some academic enrichment during the summer. And from the way that you described your involvement in the summer enrichment activities, it's obvious that you enjoyed what you did. And, you know, of course, I can't make a cake in a cup, but it sounds like you had fun with that, as well as with the percussion and participating, working together, and bonding, meeting new friends and learning how to do great games together. That's all a part of making certain that we will not lose any of the skills that we had acquired from the last school year. And I applaud every educator that took the time to work with these young people during the summer. So it was a great opportunity. You took advantage of it, and your parents, I'm sure, had to be involved in that. I applaud you for what you did. You represented us well. And I hope that when you are ready for school next week, that you will go in and you will have some exciting things to share with your classmates about what your school district did this summer in order to continue to make learning fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can they come around and shake hands?
Yes. Please shake hands. No. I do need to take 1 minute to recognize Mr. Hovis and Ms. Bryson, who are here from Brookside Elementary. Their student, Abigail, was unable to join us at the very last minute, but we appreciate them being here tonight.
Thank each one of you for presenting. And Ms. Munich, we appreciate what you do. The next item on the agenda is the report from the Curriculum and Instruction Committee. The members of that committee are Mr. Terry Usry, Ms. Dot Cherry, Mr. Justin Davis, and Ms. Dot Guthrie, which she is the chairman of that committee. And Ms. Dot Cherry is going to bring us that report.
All right. Well, since you already said who was there, I'll just jump right in. We met on June the 3rd. The meeting started at 6 o'clock. As always, it was a very, very informative and engaging meeting. The committee received an update on the alternative assessments model that we used for Warlick and Webb Street. The model collects various data points to evaluate the instructional programs for these schools. This item has been added to the consent agenda and we'll be voting on that tonight. Staff shared information on the modern learning platform being used in all regular K-5 classrooms. The elementary team is using this platform to modernize the learning environments. Grades 6 through 8 will begin using this platform during this school year. Grades 9 through 12 will implement it in the fall of 2020. This item has also been added to the consent agenda for approval tonight. The Gaston County Schools Read to Achieve Summer Reading Camp partnered with the Gaston County Public Library to serve an average of 820 students, and we were thrilled about that. What we were more thrilled about was 88% of all the third graders in attendance maintained or improved their reading levels. So this program continues to be a huge success for not only us, but more importantly for the children that are attending. Middle schools have already started their transition camps for rising sixth graders. These camps started on July 30th and will conclude on August the 22nd. Staff has worked closely with principals who will have a new choice, who have new choice programs in their schools beginning this fall, Monday. Student Support Services have assisted principals with hiring appropriate staff, professional development, and securing resources. Updates were also shared with the committee on assignment and staff changes by academic services. The Department for Exceptional Children shared an update on the nursing services provided for students with special medical conditions. 19 students were served during the 18-19 school year. 22 students are scheduled to be served during the 19-20 school year. 2020 school year. Brent, I've got your... This item has been added to the consent agenda for approval also tonight. The meeting was adjourned at 7:09, and our next meeting is September 9th at noon. And that's our report. At noon.
At noon.
Yes, at noon.
Thank you, Ms. Cherry.
Thank y'all for letting me stumble through that.
The next item on our agenda is the Operations Committee report. The Operations Committee is made up of Mr. Lee Dedman, which is our chairman of that committee, Mr. Jeff Ramsey, Mr. Steve Hall, and Mr. Kevin Collier, and I believe Mr. Hall is bringing that report.
We met on the 5th, and our discussions were the track at Stanley Mills has been paved. It's just waiting to be striped. Sod has been placed on the football fields and banks. Home football games will be played on the field, but practice will take place off-site. Grass has been sown on the baseball field, and the roof of the dugout has been framed. Belmont Middle School is progressing as scheduled. Concrete's been poured on August 2nd for the second floor, and the vertical walls are going up. Some of you probably been to see. A current project update spreadsheet was given out. Current bond projects and updates can be found on the Gaston County School website. I hope I say this right. Aaron Slutsky Our Chief Technology Officer provided us with updates within the Technology Department. Technology support, TSS has finished upgrades from Windows 7 to Windows 10. That's old, wasn't it? TSS will be installing battery backups for the school network sites. Toshiba will be replacing all multifunction devices through the district. During the back-to-school updates, Dr. Morgan Houchard, our Executive Director of Auxiliary Services, informed us that there will be 16 safety training sessions for the administration staff to attend. There will not be any changes in lunch prices, which is great, but there is going to be an alternative breakfast options for our high school students. We will be receiving 13 new Yalla buses from the state as replacements. And Gary Hoskins, our Chief Financial Officer, updated us on the new law that is requiring schools to upgrade the computer system, but we no longer can use the old systems. And he recommended, asked for permission to move forward, which we approved with Cherry Road Technologies. The committee recommends the board approve this. The Operations Committee wants to recommend that the board approve the following expenditures over $100,000 to 2 new 14-passenger minibuses for the special transportation purposes to replace the obsolete These new buses are for, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Dedman, are for those all out of county and all. It's a federal mandate.
Transporting our students that right now we're contracted with some people, and it's really, really expensive. And this is going to help with our expenses in the long run greatly.
And we also recommend to replace the obsolete HVAC units at Bessemer City High School. And I think it's 6 classrooms, 9. Okay, 9. I stand corrected. A handout with change orders listed was reviewed and recommended for approval. Our next committee meeting is scheduled September the 9th, 2019 at 4 p.m. here in the boardroom, and we adjourned after that.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. Our next item on the agenda is the back-to-school update. This is an information item, and Mr. Todd Higgins.
Thank you. Good evening, Chairman Moore, Vice Chairman Collier, members of the board, and Superintendent Booker. First, I'd like to thank you for the recognition earlier, and I do want to say that I have a wonderful department. I work with a great team, and I really appreciate all of their hard work that they put into receiving those 2 awards. So thank you for allowing me to share that. It is a pleasure to bring to you our back-to-school update for the 2019-2020 academic year. And in case you haven't heard, it is back-to-school time in Gaston County. This week, as we anticipate the first day of school, our schools are conducting orientation and open house programs for students and parents. Registration is taking place at Forest Heights, and teachers and school employees are involved in staff meetings and professional development. Also, our teachers are preparing their classrooms for teaching and learning, and they are taking care of those last-minute details to ensure a smooth opening for school. Tomorrow, we will have our grade-level mini-conferences, which this year will include our back-to-school convocation program for employees. As you are well aware, bright and early on Monday, August the 26th, the yellow buses will roll and the school bells will ring, and we will welcome more than 31,000 students in pre-kindergarten through high school to our classrooms. And that 31,000 figure includes more than 2,100 seniors in the class of 2020 who are already looking ahead to the future, and approximately 2,000 kindergartners who are beginning their K-12 education journey. This year, Gaston County Schools has more than 1,900 classroom teachers, and approximately 90 of them are new first-year teachers. The new teachers are participating in our Teacher Induction Program for Success, which is known as TIPS, and that program is designed to ensure educators thrive in their new career. While talking about teachers, our principals and the Human Resources Department, they are working diligently to fill our teacher vacancies. And as of this morning, we had 22 teacher vacancies, 4 at the elementary level, 7 at the middle school level, and 11 at the high school level. We also are working this week to fill 16 bus driver positions. We have new principals at 7 schools for the 2019-2020 year, and you see those schools listed there on the screen. Todd Goff is the new principal at Belmont Central. Bessemer City Central is what I'm trying to say, at Belmont Central Elementary. Tammy Mims is at Chapel Grove Elementary. Chad Carper at W.C. Friday Middle School. James Montgomery at the Highland School of Technology. Dawn Lavender at McAdenville Elementary. Bill Kessler at Sadler Elementary. And Lucretia Rice at Warlick Academy are our 7, representing the 7 schools that have new principals this year. Again, this year, the academic success of our students is our primary focus. We have put a lot of time and energy into our various academic programs, including our school choice and magnet school programs. This year, we are expanding our school choice options from 6 to 19 with the introduction of new academy programs in 6 areas, and those areas include career, collegiate prep, health sciences, leadership, public service, and technology and industrial engineering. The 13 academy programs, they are in addition to our 6 existing school choice magnet school options, and those are the Highland School of Technology, the Gaston Early College High School, Hawks Nest STEAM Academy, the Gifted and Talented Academy at Pleasant Ridge Elementary, the STEAM Academy at Stanley Middle, and the Gaston County Virtual Academy. We are looking forward to much success with our school choice programs, and we are so pleased to be able to offer more academic options for our students. I know we have said it before, but it's worth saying again, school safety is very important to Gaston County Schools. In addition to having a comprehensive safety plan, every school has a full-time police resource officer, a buzz-in entrance system, an identity management visitor check-in system, and surveillance cameras to ensure safety. School administrators spent time this summer reviewing emergency reunification plans and conducting safety walks, and a number of schools received life safety updates. This includes cameras, intercoms, door and entry access, as well as new fencing. And thanks to the district's safety initiatives and our continued partnership with local law enforcement, Gaston County ranks again as the safest large school district in the state. This is a significant accomplishment for us, and we want to thank our local law enforcement agencies for working with us to ensure safety. Significant progress has been made on the construction of the new Belmont Middle School since the groundbreaking ceremony in March. The modern campus on South Point Road is taking shape, and it is expected to be ready for us in the 2021-2022 academic year. The project is funded by the school bonds that voters approved in May 2018. And in addition to the new Belmont Middle School, school bond funds are being used for renovation and repair projects at 12 schools, and those schools are listed on the screen. And additionally, improvements including gymnasium floors, media center renovations, fencing, roofing, parking lot, and driveway paving, painting, and life safety updates were made this summer at various schools. As we look at other areas of interest, we want to remind parents that the price for student lunch meals remained the same as last year, $2.70 for elementary schools, $2.80 for middle and high schools, and our breakfast meals, they are $1.20 for students. Again, this year, breakfast and lunch meals are being provided free of charge to all students at 19 schools. The free meals at these schools are provided through the CEP, which is the Community Eligibility Provision Program, sponsored by the USDA Food and Nutrition Service. Additionally, the Breakfast After the Bell program is available at 10 high schools, Belmont Middle School, Chapel Grove Elementary School, and North Belmont Elementary School, expanding that program from 4 to 13 for the year ahead. This program provides another opportunity for students to eat breakfast, and it is ideal for those students who are not able to eat before leaving home, or they are not able to arrive early enough to eat in the school cafeteria. Again, this year, we expect to have approximately 16,000 children riding our school buses. We have 211 yellow school buses and 47 white activity buses. This includes 13 new school buses that were added to the fleet to replace old buses. It's important to note that over the past 3 years, we have gotten 58 brand-new yellow buses from the state, and this represents more than a quarter of our yellow bus fleet that has been replaced over the past 3 years. While we are talking about school buses, I think it's important to remind our parents and the community that school buses, by design, are among the safest vehicles on the road. All of our buses were inspected over the summer, and they are equipped with security cameras and GPS to ensure student and driver safety. And as our buses get ready to head out for a new school year, we want to remind motorists to use extreme caution when approaching a school bus and to watch for children in the early morning and afternoon hours when the buses are on the road. Also, for the new school year, we have a new strategic plan that outlines our guiding principles for the school district for the next 5 years. We will continue our focus on career and technical education to ensure that when our students graduate, they are ready for college and the workforce. We will continue to provide the latest technology in our classrooms, and our technicians have spent time upgrading our computer software to Windows 10, installing large LED monitors to replace some of our aging smart boards, and taking care of other technology-related projects. Also this year, we are going to work on increasing the number of school mentors and build more relationships with our parents, businesses, and community leaders to support our schools. And also for the upcoming year, our 3rd consecutive year, we will continue our Stand Up Gaston bullying prevention and character education program. The information I have shared with you and much more is included in our back-to-school press release, and you all have a copy of that. And that press release will be distributed and posted on the Gaston County Schools website tomorrow. And we also on our website have other back-to-school information for students and parents to review. We encourage our students, parents, employees, and others in the community to stay connected with Gaston County Schools by liking us on Facebook and following us on Twitter, watching us on Channel 21 on Spectrum Cable, also on YouTube, and downloading our mobile app. And it's very important to mention that that mobile app really is a one-stop shop for information about Gaston County Schools, so we encourage everyone to download our mobile app. And with that, we want to wish everyone a great new school year ahead, and we look forward to Monday when we celebrate the first day of school in Gaston County Schools. And with that, Mr. Moore, I conclude my back-to-school remarks.
All right, I believe Mr. Davis has a few comments.
First of all, thank you for that update. Just wanted to make sure that we were clarifying the principles in Belmont. Wanted to make sure we had that right for anybody watching out there.
Belmont Central.
It is
Page Elementary.
Page Primary. It's Todd Golf.
I said
right?
that. Why didn't you correct me earlier?
That's all right.
I was all wrong there on that.
I didn't want to interrupt you, Mr. Hagens. You were on a roll.
National award.
I tell you what.
So Todd Hagens is at Page Primary.
Yeah, that's it. Todd Golf.
I'm sorry. Todd Golf is at Page Primary, and Phyllis Whitworth is still at Belmont Central. So
That's correct.
Thank you.
And we guarantee whoever's out there, there will be a great principal for the school. So I'm sorry about that. Thank you for catching that.
Thank you, Mr. Hagens.
Now we know why you received those awards.
All right, next item on the agenda is new school construction update, and this is an information item. and Mr. Gary Hawkins.
Good evening, Chairman Moore, Vice Chairman Collier, members of the Board of Education, Superintendent Booker. As Mr. Hagan's mentioned, we're sort of getting to the end of summer, and as you know, summer is always the busiest time for us in facilities and operations. We've been working hard inside our schools, painting, doing paving projects, window projects, media center remodeling, a new gym floor at Chavis Middle School. So over the next week or two, we'll be phasing those projects out, and we'll be transitioning into projects that we can do easier when there's no students there, such as fencing, security fencing, installations, access wall entry, construction, and tennis courts at North Gaston High School. So as we look at our new construction, first of all, we're going to start with Stanley Middle School. As you know, Stanley Middle School was a two-phase construction project. The first phase was the actual construction of the school as you see it here. This was complete in March of last year. The students began attending the new school in March of last year as well. And we moved to Phase 2. And Phase 2 was the demolition of the existing building, and then we put the athletic fields where the existing building was. So now we're coming to the end of Phase 2. Here you can see this is right about where the entrance, the new entrance to the school is. You've got the sidewalk there and the new football field. As you walk a little bit closer, you can see the track. We still have to do some, put some lines on the track, but pretty much we're into the punch list items right now. And you can see the front of the school is to the right of this picture, and the gymnasium is to the left. We did put sod down on the football field so that we can hopefully use this field earlier than if we were to just have put grass seed on it. Here, as we move closer to the school, this is the home stands. You're looking directly at the concession stand and restrooms here. The football field is on the right, and the school is on your left. This is the baseball field. The outfield was seeded. It was not sodded, so it may take a little bit longer before we can use the baseball field for baseball and softball. And here is a picture from the home stands, again, across the football field, and you can see the baseball field in the background as well. So right now we're in the final punch stages of our fields. Branch is just working on those final items, and then we will be totally finished when the punch items are complete. Belmont Middle School. This is the timeline that we presented to you, I think, a year ago. Everything is on schedule right now. We did begin construction towards the end of 2018. We've had very good weather over the past several months. And as you can see here, this is South Point Road is to the right side of the picture. And of course, the school, the trailer's on the left. The gymnasium is in the very back. If you get a little bit closer here, when you walk into the school, as Mr. Hall mentioned, we're going vertical on the walls. One of the great things about beam construction, other than they're local, is that they have their own masons. And so you see a lot of concrete block being laid here very quickly. Again, as we move forward, Mr. Hall also mentioned that we've done at least one pour on the second floor, and here you can see the beams between the first floor and the second floor. We're supposed to do the second pour last week, but we had that big rainfall event which delayed that pour. I think it's going to be later this week, and there'll be about 4 or 5 pours on the second floor. And what we're looking at here is the cafeteria. And this is another view of the floor of the second level of Belmont Middle. So continuing to make a lot of good progress on Belmont Middle and finalizing Stanley Middle School. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I will open it up for any questions or discussion.
Any questions? All right.
Mr. Chair, may I just simply say thank you to what was done in the Cherville area in terms of the parking lot at Tryon Elementary, Cherville Elementary, the new gym floor at Chavis Middle. It's just absolutely beautiful. And I really appreciated those signs that were put out, drawing folks' attention to the things that were done. So thank you, Dr. Bouchard. Appreciate it.
Anyone else? All right. Thank you, Mr. Hoskins. The next item on our agenda is out-of-county tuition, and this is an action item. It's also Mr. Gary Hoskins.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Each year before school starts, the Board of Education approves the out-of-county tuition rate. This rate is based on the actual county expenditures that we received last year, which was around $49 million, divided by the total number of students that we had last year, which was about 31,000 students. The previous year's tuition rate was $1,574, and we're recommending a slight increase to $1,578 for the coming year. And also from the state standpoint, the state gives us this number. The state amount is $5,873 compared to $5,640 the previous year. So we recommend that we adopt those tuition rates for the 2019-20 school year.
Mr. Chair, move to approve the recommendation by.
Second.
Any questions, discussion? All in favor? And it's unanimous.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hoskins. The next item on our agenda is the consent agenda. Please take a look at the items presented, and we need a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
So moved.
Ms. Cherry? Any second? Mr. Ramsey? Any questions? Discussion? All in favor? And it's unanimous. That brings us to a time in our meeting to hear from our superintendent. Dr. Booker, do you have any comments?
Yes, sir. Thank you much. I think you can see by all the presentations you had tonight, there's been a lot going on, but there's a lot currently going on. And with our teachers returning, tomorrow is our big convocation day. So a lot of folks have been working hard. So some of our polish is a little off on tonight. But what you need to recognize, if you look at your clock, about this time next Monday, we'll be parking our buses and completing our first day. And I hope that about 6:30 I'll have gotten a call that they're all parked, Dr. Hushar. So everyone's really excited about it. You can see from all the work that has gone on to be prepared, it takes a lot to get ready for 31,000 students. I want to thank, maintenance crews have been working 6-day weeks, building services, just trying to get schools ready. We've done a lot of work. We've been blessed with the county support, and the money that they have shared with us has allowed for a lot of long deferred maintenance to begin to be worked on. By far, we're not done. And you will see things in progress and continuing. Just as Mr. Hoskins highlighted, there are projects that are delineated to be performed that are to come. For example, the bonds clearly spelled out that we would replace the lighting at an athletic field. It's a baseball field, so it's not going to get done until in time for baseball because they had to prioritize projects for what would have the highest impact. But they're on the list. Our website does try to keep that updated with the projects. But a lot of work has gone on, and the schools are looking much better. So I thank them for that. And we've talked about professional development. I've had the pleasure to attend numerous sessions this summer and meet and see our teachers getting better at their craft and working together to grow. And it's really impressive. And I thank all of them for what they've done, to do that extra mile to ensure that we're ready for opening day. And you all have done a lot to support that. You have authorized us for some expenditures along professional development and supported. You have attended different meetings that we've had and celebrations. So tomorrow, when we're having our mini conferences, we'll be celebrating that as we have our convocations in those. You all recognize in our calendar, we typically have 7 to 9 teacher work days before school. This year we only have 5. So rather than take one of their half days for a convocation, we're blending it in with their mini conferences because we still believe there's a lot of value in our convocation, but we wanted to do that. So if you're available for one of those sessions tomorrow, we would welcome you to attend that. Some of you called last week because you'd gotten a call. We had all these police cars out front. They were here planning because on Thursday at 10 a.m., our local law enforcement agencies are going to have a press conference at Robinson Elementary to promote the importance of traffic safety, especially as we come back to school, and recognizing traffic patterns will change. As Mr. Hagan said, over 200 buses will start rolling and things. So Mr. Ross and his team, along with Mr. Hagan's and our communication, have worked with the various police departments, and it just shows that partnership that we brag about. Safety is not by accident. It takes a lot of work, and we appreciate their commitment and wanting to come and do this. So we have state police officers all the way through each of our towns involved in this. And so we look forward to that. Again, that'll be 10 a.m. Thursday at Robinson Elementary School. And then finally, several of you joined Mr. Moore and I for the ceremony to recognize W.A. Best as meeting the arduous process to become an A-plus school. And that's our first one in the county. And people say, well, what is an A-plus school? It really represents the arts and the adding and infusing across the entire curriculum of arts. And they're excited about it, and it is a neat opportunity. And we have several other schools that are studying it and anxiously looking to see the impact it'll have at W.A. Best. So we applaud our current principal of the year, Laura Dixon, for the work she did and then her staff did, recognizing they went to Raleigh this summer for 1 week on their own cost to be trained and to come back and provide that. So we're proud that they will be our first A-plus school, and I think they will show how well that can be done. So I hope you all know we're excited for new school year and all that it will bring, and we appreciate your support. And that concludes my comments.
Thank you, Dr. Booker. And thank you to everyone for your time and attention. We look forward to our next regular meeting, which will be announced. We do have a need to go into closed session, and I need a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to go into closed session under North Carolina General Statute 13443-318.11, paragraph A6 for personnel, and for North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11, paragraph A3 for consultation with attorneys, specifically in order to consult with the board's attorney and protect the attorney-client privilege, and to receive advice with respect to the lawsuit captioned 19-CVS-319 Solomon et al. Versus Gaston County Board of Education et al. And any other legal matters.
First, any second, Mr. Ramsey? Any questions, discussion? All in favor? And we are in closed session.